I am Jessica with a K. I'm from London. I live in New York City. And yeah, I'm an artist. I make music. I write music. I produce music. I live for music. So
Well, and because you're now currently live in New York, I'm always curious as to why you make the big switch, especially across the lake or the pond.
across the pond, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I moved here. I mean, I still go back to London frequently, like regularly, because all my family are over there. Um, but yeah, I moved here when I got signed. So I signed with BMG out here, and all my teams out here. I have a wonderful team, amazing label. So I moved out here, and yeah, and built my life, set up my life out here. So I love it here. America is my is home too, you know.
Is there anything you miss when you're over here?
I mean, I miss my family the most. That part is that's a daily struggle for me, honestly. Being away from them. I'm very close to my family. I'm very close to them, and that part I struggle with. But I'm lucky. I have to say I'm lucky. I do get to go home frequently, so I can't complain too much. But that's the biggest part.
Completely understand. And hoping one of the best ways to connect with one another is through music. And you have a fantastic new album coming out. Um, I want to know why you picked The World Ain't Ready as the title track as well as the title album.
Yeah. Well, Don't Ready is a real it's a very important track on the album. Um it's a song that explains a lot about the album and a lot about the songs on the record. It's about a metamorphosis. I always describe it as like coming from the caterpillar into the butterfly. A lot of people think that the meaning of World Ain't Ready, and that the song, and it can be about this too, is about a relationship. But actually in my head, it's actually about the relationship with oneself. Um, so it's about like a transformation. And this album it explains a lot about that transformation, and just there's a long story, there's a big story, and they're all very personal songs on this record. And I think World Ain't Ready is is probably the most personal track on the record.
When I was listening to it, I was just not to say it felt like heartbroken, but it also felt like a recovery at the same time.
That's a
And
great way of describing it. I love that.
I was always curious when picking songs, especially to be the choice of the title album. I always find it the most scariest thing to do, and to pick something as brave as World Ain't Ready is kind of a cool um, outlook towards what we can expect. Um, Now, besides going from such a powerful song, you have a bunch of fun songs in this album that I absolutely adore.
Thank you.
Um, Especially Your Loss is one of my favorites.
Yes.
I'm so curious in terms of the writing process for this song because it's such a cute medley that's honestly going to get stuck in my head for the next couple weeks.
That's good. I like to hear that. Yeah, Your Loss is like an empowering one. It's yeah, I wrote that. I remember it was just I was feeling empowered that day. The album definitely it has a mixture of there is it's what I hope is that there's kind of like light and dark in it. Some are happy, some are sad, and there's light and darkness in this record. And Your Loss is one of the the empowering kind of fight back ones. Yeah, I'm excited for that one too. I like that one. Um, so yeah, that was kind of it's just about fighting back, really, and just not giving up, and just keep on keeping on, keep in the ring.
Yeah. It's such a fun song to listen to, and like I said earlier, I swear I think after this interview I'm still gonna be hearing that song in the background while I'm doing the most mundane things because it feels good.
Thank you.
So
I'll love to hear that. That's good.
I am curious, when it comes to collaborating with music, collaborating with other people, especially with the song, as I'm glancing over here, Fuck Our Fears. How did you get into contact with Gashi?
Yeah, so Fuck Heifers just came out like about a month ago. And he heard the song. We sent him the song, and he apparently loved it, and said he related to a lot of what the song is about. And yeah, and we collaborated and just put it out. And he is, I couldn't have wished for anyone better. He's an amazing artist. I'm a huge fan of Gashi. I was over the moon when I heard that he was going to be on this track. I was really happy. And he brought a lot to it. It's great. So yeah, that's kind of how it came about.
So was there any kind of like any little tension between the two, or was there just an easy flow of
Yeah, it was all
everything?
easy. It was fantastic. He heard the song and he said he loved it, and then he worked on verse two, which when I heard it, I remember I was kind of nervous to hear it, because you never know when, you never know how it's going to be. I was nervous, and when I heard it, I was so happy and relieved. He'd done a great job on Fuck Half Ears. And it's exactly how it should be, exactly how that song. I refer to my songs. You'll often hear me describe my songs as my babies. And Fuck Half Ears for me is one of my, not that you should have favorites, but it's one of my favorite babies, one of my special babies. And it's, yeah, I was very intrigued when I first heard the version, but it's brilliant. He did great. I also
Well,
got to meet him, which was great, in Chicago a few weeks ago, just before the track came out. So we bonded over
really?
the song. Yeah. And we had lots of stories to share. And we both obviously relate, to this song. And yeah, it was great to meet him and great to just talk about our baby. So
I love that you have you're calling your songs babies, and this one maybe considerably the favorite of the family. Which one was the most difficult one?
oh, that's a good question. The most difficult baby. Wow, I like that question. Okay, let me think. The most difficult baby. Do you mean like to write?
You know what? Different. Let's say to write. Yeah.
Yeah, the most difficult baby to write, I would say. There's a song called Kiss Jace on the record, that I found writing these. I wrote this album 100%. And they're, like I said, they're all very personal. I always say I don't write fiction, I only write the truth. And it's sometimes as hard as that is to admit, because people hear the stories and I'm like, okay, yeah, that is about me. I'm like, that's not about me, but they all come from personal experience. But Kiss Chase was a song that I wrote about. We used to have a game that we used to play when we were little, called Kiss Chase at school. I think it was only in England. And
I don't think I've ever heard of it here.
yeah, we used to play when we were little, and it was exactly what it was. That it was just interesting. And it came into my head last year on Valentine's Day when I was in Nashville. Sorry, a couple of years ago, actually, in Nashville. And I had this idea to write a song about the game. And it's a dark song. It's a sad song, as a lot of my songs are, but it was the hardest one to write, I would say. I remember feeling, it was on Valentine's Day, and I remember I was feeling very emotional writing this song. But it's raw, and hopefully that comes out in the arts. So I would say that was my most difficult one to write.
And of all the time periods to write that song, Valentine's Day probably on the top of like, should I do it then?
Yeah, exactly. That's my Valentine's Day, just writing sad songs about everything. Yeah.
Uh, well, I hope you at least took a break from writing it and enjoy the day for a little bit.
No, I think I was just writing sad songs. Yeah, I'd love to say that. I'd love to say I went out and had like a, wild Valentine's Day, but just wild Valentine's Day with myself and my guitar and my piano, yeah, as it is. But that's all right. That's all right.
I want to talk about bedtime stories. Because that was another story, another song I have on here as my favorite, and I want to know the pride and process of that one.
Bedtime story is a cheeky one, as we'd say in
Yes.
England, a cheeky song. I describe it as the song is about painting a picture to somebody's brain, and it's about fantasy. And it's yeah, that's how I describe it. It's about painting a picture. It's about lust, you know, it's about all that kind of thing. As I say, it's a cheeky song. That is the theme for that one. So that was another Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day songs after another.
That's funny. But yeah, that's what it's about.
Oh, all right. Yeah, because when I was listening to it, I was like, oh shit. Oh no, I like this one too. And I wrote it down on here. I wrote down a bedtime story and then You're Lost, and I was like, oh yeah. Oh, that's right. I gotta bring this back to the song. But
I like that one too. That's one of my favorite babies on the record.
so with that being said, um transferring your babies into, I guess, the adult stage, which is music videos. You
Yeah.
already have a couple of music videos out with Fuck Our Fears, as well as We Ain't Ready. Which one has been your like kind of favorite one to do?
Fuck Our Fears. I loved the making of Fuck Our Fears. We had an incredible day making Fuck Our Fears. We was out in Nashville, and we started at like a little house. And then we got like a Jeep and drove around, and there was drones, and then we went out to Tennessee, to this place about an hour and a half out, to this beautiful like ranch. And it was amazing. The energy was very special. It was actually a day I'll never forget. There was just something, I couldn't even describe it. There was something very, very special about that day. It was just, yeah, it was magical. That's the word I use. Making that video was magical. And also by the end of the day, it was like 9 o'clock, and we were under the stars, which is what the song is about. We were under the stars, and there was just something, the energy, I'm all about energy, and the energy was great. Yeah, very, very special day.
The couple we've done. Just because it
Oh,
looks like a friend's trip out. It's
yeah.
just
And that's another thing. I made wonderful friends that day. Like I made so many new friends that day. It was funny actually. Like all my friends who you see in the video, like we've kept in contact on text and everything.
really.
Yeah, we all exchanged numbers at the end. I was like, we're all like we became real friends in real life. So when I go to Nashville, we're gonna try and meet up. So they were amazing. It was good.
Horrible. I love that.
Yeah.
Goodness. Just knowing that you can have friends no matter where you're at, it's amazing.
Yes, exactly.
So this is part of the part of my little interview where I have a couple of these little conversation cards just for fans to get to know you on a new level.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Throw
right.
them at me. I'm
Okay.
ready.
All right. If I wasn't afraid, I would blank.
If I wasn't afraid, I would. If I wasn't afraid, I would. Well, that's good. If I wasn't afraid, I wouldn't know what to write about. That's my bad sister there. If I wasn't afraid, I wouldn't know what to write about. I tend to write when most of my best songs are written when I'm feeling a little afraid. So if I wasn't afraid, yeah, I might not have, I'm not sure what I'd be writing about. Yeah.
I like it. That's a cute answer. Here. What would make you instantly laugh?
Oh, what makes me laugh? I am completely, and I say this, obsessed with The Office UK, David Brent. I watch The Office UK most mornings and most nights before I go to bed, because when I get a bit homesick out here, I'll put it on. And I love Ricky Gervais, I love David Brent, but I like the character of David Brent. So yeah, I laugh frequently and have it on in the background all the time.
All right. So what's your opinions on the US version?
I like it too, but I do like the US version, but I'm all about the David Brent, The Office UK. Yeah. But I do need to get more into it, because my sister said actually she prefers the US one. She was like, "You're gonna love it." Her and my brother love that one more. So I need to come away from my obsession of the UK one and get more into that one too. Give it a chance.
Um, Here. What's been the happiest memory this past year?
Oh, I would say my happiest memory was, I would say, probably being home with my family. I'm a family girl. So when I'm with my family, I am the ultimate happiest. I am, yeah. Or actually, my mum came out here to see me in New York, and we had the best weekend, the best 3 days together. So I would say that was That was my top happiest moment. All loved up with my family. Yeah.
Oh, what did you guys do?
We just had like a really simple weekend. Me and my mum love walking, so we just walk. And New York is a great walking city, so we just walked around, and we'll have cappuccinos, and we'll go and get lunches, and we just I just absorb. I'm very close to my mum, so we just absorb her love when she's here. So, and then when I get to see my family, my dad and my brother and my sister as well, when I get to go home. So I'm lucky. I say I miss them very much, but I'm very fortunate I do get to go home and see them. So it's not too bad.
If you were to press shuffle on your playlist right now, what would be the first song that would pop on?
Good question. I love Fleetwood Mac. Probably Fleetwood Mac, I would say. Yeah, my favorite album is Rumors. So I would say that.
That's a classic.
Yes.
Okay, I'll do one last one. Let's see. I would say like what would be like your dream job as if you were a kid, kind of say like I know like growing up for me, I wanted to be a director.
Right.
Now I'm doing this. So
Okay, so if I wasn't an artist, yeah, because this is my dream job, but if I wasn't, I would say I'm very much into space and stuff. I'm really into stuff. Like I get very, very fascinated by space stuff. Oh yeah, I'll like research stuff. And I when I was at school, I was very much into stuff like that. I'd research about planets. I know all about the planets. And I would say now that I'd probably be, yeah, something to do with space, an astronaut. I don't know.
so I'm
But yeah,
curious, do you still have a bunch of knowledge about space?
not really as much, no. But like I do get very much into all these things. Like yeah, I will research. If I see new things about space, I start researching it, and I get very fascinated by it even now as a grown up. And actually in a couple of my songs there's references where I'll say, like I mention in one of my songs, Dirty Talk, I'll say Venus, Mars. So I mention planets. Fuck Our Fears, I talk about the stars. So I'm all about all that kind of imagery.
And with that, that's a fantastic segue back into the end, which is your album is out on September 1st. What are the big plans afterwards?
So after, I think we're promoting the album. We are what I really want to do is tour. I want to really tour. I want to tour the album. I just want to get my show on the road. I love playing live. And now that the album is coming out, I feel like we're at a point where I want to go and tour the album. So I want to get my show on the road. That's what I want to be doing. Yeah.
Oh, are you planning on doing any parties for the opening for the release day?
So we're just working it out now, actually. I think I may be I'm actually on BBC Radio London on the day of the album release. So I think I'm going to be in London. I head over to the BBC studios on the evening, do an interview, play some music over there. We're not sure, but maybe doing a little party show in London, and then I think I'm going to head to Berlin for a couple of days where and do some maybe celebrations out there, and then head back here. And so between everywhere I've got some little celebrations planned. I'm very, very excited for that weekend. It's a moment for sure that I want to celebrate.
I hope everyone gets a chance to listen to the album. Like I said earlier, I love the album. I think it's adorable. There's so many great songs that I can't like. I know I picked like 2 of them so far that I absolutely love, but the whole album is fantastic to listen to.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's nice to hear that about my babies.
Well, with that being said, where is the best place we can find you?
So Instagram, it's Jessika Music with a K. And then I have a website actually that just got launched a few days ago. So this is the first time I'm launching this. It is iamjessika.com. And that is probably the best place. It has all my music, all the social links, my everything's on there. So iamjessika.com with a K, everything with a K.